back to my village to vote because I was here in Abuja. The situation room was a very tense one, and we were quite surprised. The nation was in a very bad mood the way we are this morning. This morning, Mr. C, there is not much traffic on the road. As I talk to you right now, I'm in the Supreme Court. We had a matter this morning coming up the Supreme Court. So I'm here, and there wasn't much vehicular movement. It appeared so many people were off the road. Right in the situation with Mr. C, there was so much problems. We actually thought that INEC was in touch. We thought INEC was very prepared. If you consider the amount of money that was expended for this election, one would expect that INEC would have performed better than it did. You can see there were so much problems. Initially, we thought the transportation problem, the transportation of materials and personnel to polling units, we thought it was a thing of the past. But it was very sad that out of the 167,606 polling units, because you know about 240 polling units were not eliminated from the series of units elections were to hold. Out of that number, we had very close to 105,000 units arriving late for the elections. Several reasons were given for it. The reason given for us in the situation room is that some of the staff that were trained as polling unit agents, polling unit INEC officers, some of them resigned. They cited equity problems. They cited threats to their life, family decisions, some of them personal reasons like ill health, etc. But so many of them could not come up. And also the vehicles that were supposed to move these items, some of them had problems. We had this issue of those having some mechanical problems. About 8 of the incidences we had about vehicles, where some were going to get fuel that morning. They were going to get petroleum products that morning for the vehicles. Also, we had a few mechanical breakdowns, which was very, very, it's not what we ought to have. So, in most areas, the process commenced late. In some areas, we are told some process commenced as late as 4 p.m. when the oxygen closing up. But also, once they commenced, you can see there were so many issues. The leaders in some areas were not working. So many people who came to vote could not even find their names. I heard the story of the former NPA president, Okocha, in Rivers, who came to vote, and he was told his name was not there. In fact, the leaders could not be recognized him. And also, we experienced lots of violence when the actual voting commenced. There was so much violence, especially in the area, the Lagos area. We had very disturbing incidents in the area. I don't know if you saw what went viral. We also have record of it in the situation room. The killings of newcomers. Polling unit officers of the INEC. The killings were just too much. We had about 187 incidents of killing, especially in Lagos State. Also, there was so much violence in Imo. The case of Imo was a very peculiar one because there were so many units that were suspended from as part of the 240 units that will not take part in this election. Those polling units were suspended, but about 8 of them, there were polls going on there. Even those that were rejected by the INEC. Also, there was violence in Anambra. There was violence in Benue. We saw some serious violence in Kogi and Kwara states. And also at the FCT level, there's so much, especially in the outskirts of the FCT, there was so much violence. It was surprising that we didn't experience much of violence in the north. The northern part of the country, where we were expecting all kinds of negatives to come from, where we were expecting the action and activities of the Boko Haram and all these insurgencies to take, but nothing happened. We didn't get much there. Rather, we had much of the problems associated with violence, especially killings of young people who are out there to do national duty. It was very disturbing, you can see.
Well, interesting this, coming from the Situation Room monitoring the process. I mean, there's been so much reactions expressed by Nigerians even while the process of collation of the said election result, despite it being marked by electoral malpractices, the killings which you have mentioned. What would you want to make of the beavers? I know you did touch on it. So much monies were earmarked for this, but from the agitations coming from agents of the various political parties, the likes of the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party as well, obviously the Independent National Electoral Commission did not put it to use, and probably put it to use effectively.
Apart from being on the front row in the National Situation Room, I'm also a systems person. I'm a systems consultant. I must tell you very frankly that I am totally disappointed with the business. What we thought the business was is not what it is. The business disappointed the nation in terms of even the recognition of fingerprints. It took more than the times that we are allocated to it to take. We thought, in fact, from what we were told earlier, it was going to take about 2 minutes maximum. It was going to be in seconds to recognize the fingerprints. But the forensics was very poor, excellent, very poor. I do not know if it has to do with those who are handling it, or if it has to do with the machine itself. But we are totally disappointed. But the greatest disappointment, Mr. C, came from the final stage of the voting. The final stage of the voting involves the viewers recording the result sheet and transmitting it directly to the national servers. That never happened in so many areas. We had so much complaints from people that it never happened. So if that, which is a primary part of it, is a very serious part of the use of the users. Because if you do not immediately transfer, if we allow a situation where it takes a longer time before transfer happens, then it gives room for all kinds of manipulations. I'm not saying that there are manipulations, because the whole thing has currently been investigated, and we've been told that part of it are subject to litigation. But what I'm saying that what we saw in the Situation Room was very disturbing. Very disturbing. The viewers did not upload immediately most of the results from the polling units. So it violated a very principal aspect of the Electoral Act, which most of us rejoiced over. We rejoiced over the fact that once the viewers, once the polling is over, once the polls are records are in the result sheet, that the business system was to automatically uplift and transmit. That never happened in so many cases, and created some serious disappointment with the system.
Well, I guess you just tuned in. It's Open Parliament. Interpol Systems Consultant and Security Expert, Chikwe Udensi is the guest virtually. My name is Mr. C. Well, still on the elections, you are a security expert. You've said you've given us an idea of what the Federal Capital Territory is right now. Obviously, a section of the country who feel what's it called, shortchanged in some way, particularly by the Independent National Electoral Commission not following its set guidelines, are obviously aggrieved. What do you make of the security situation like? Because obviously when the collision was on, the atmosphere was particularly tensed. What would you say, security-wise? I mean, what should happen post-election? Now these elections the results have been announced already.
Well, the results have been announced. Some people were disappointed. Some people were happy. There were some indications in some areas. With what we see on the total atmosphere, what we see on the road, because I had to come all the way to Supreme Court. By the way, it was excusing me. I have to be going into the Supreme Court. We are in the session is about to start right now. So what we see currently going on, but I spent some time looking around to make sure that there were no skirmishes anywhere. Initially, we thought that people will be on the streets getting angry, especially those who do not feel that the process was properly done. But what we saw is that total calm everywhere. There was some sizable presence of the military. I listened to the military team as they moved around on what they call the show of force. I also saw the police anti-riot gears on the streets. But there were not much of cars. There were too many cars, especially on the Wednesday, working hours. One should expect the movement of vehicular traffic. But that is not very much here, especially in our part, our Soko area, in my Tama area, the areas I passed through. I didn't find any. So what I see is that maybe the nation is about to fully consummate what has happened. Maybe people are beginning to wake up to find out that something has happened. Or maybe the nation has decided to take it as it is. So I do not know exactly what it is right now, but the security situation is perfectly calm. There are no violent movements, there are no violent speeches, there are no people on the streets showing some